This is the video for the 2.4 homework help. I am not going to do this entire assignment for you on this video. However, I am going to work one or two problems in each section. So in the first section, it tells you that you are going to solve and match the inequality with its graph. So I'm going to help you with number 3. So if you look at number 3, you have negative 4x plus 3 is less than or equal to 11. So we've been solving inequalities now for a week, so hopefully you know what to do, but just in case, remember you always want to move the number away from the variable first. So notice here, this is called the constant. It's plus 3, so we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. When we do that, we find out that positive and negative 3 will cancel. We bring down our negative 4x. We bring down our symbol, which is less than or equal to. And 11 minus 3 is 8. Then from here, the opposite of multiplying by negative 4 is to divide by negative 4. Don't forget, when you divide by a negative, you're going to have to flip that inequality symbol. So negative 4 over negative 4 cancels. We have x. We're flipping the symbol. That's why I circled it to remind myself. And then 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. So we are going to use this information to find our graph. Okay, so we know that our circle is colored in, which that should make sense. All of these graphs have a colored in circle. Remember, the closed circle is because this has the equal to. Then this says greater than negative 2. So notice right here, this is a closed circle on negative 2 pointing to the right. So I know that the graph that goes with number 3 is graph B. Okay, so you should be able to do number 1 and 2 based on that. So the first thing you're going to do is solve them, and then you're going to match the graph. In this section, I would like to work number 5 with you guys. So let's go ahead and look at that one. So we have negative 6 is greater than or equal to 9 minus 5y. Now what you should notice first is that the variable is on the right, and remember we want to move the variable to the left. We want our variable on the left side. So the opposite of minus 5y would be to add 5y to both sides. Now when you add 5y to both sides, these will cancel, but on this side you can't really add 5y to negative 6. So we have 5y minus 6 is greater than or equal, and then I just bring down this 9. Okay? So it's kind of like solving a literal equation where you're not actually doing the operation yet because they weren't like terms. Okay? Then from here, the opposite of subtracting 6 is to add 6 to both sides, so I'm going to do that. Positive and negative 6 cancel, and I'm left with 5y is greater than or equal to 15. The opposite of multiplying by 5 would be to divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 cancels, so I'm left with y. My symbol is greater than or equal to, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So that would be my answer to number 5. Okay? On number 7, I'm going to help you get started because I know some of you are still struggling when you see that fraction. Don't worry about the k over 3 yet. Deal with the plus 6. So the opposite of adding 6 is subtracting 6. So when you do that to both sides, you're left with k divided by 3 is less than 1. Okay? Then from that point, you know that the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So you'll multiply by 3 to cancel and multiply by 3. Okay? Alright, so you should be able to complete 4, 5, and 7 at this point. On this last section, what you should notice is that these inequalities are getting larger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you clean up number 10 and solve it. Okay, so for number 10, the first thing you should notice is that 9w minus 4w is on the same side of the inequality symbol. So we did one like this in class the other day, so you want to make sure that you clean up that side before you actually start. So 9w minus 4w is 5w. Bring down your plus 6, and that'd be greater than or equal to 1 plus 5w. Then from this point, the opposite of positive 5w is to subtract 5w. So I'm going to subtract 5w from both sides. And what you notice is both of those cancel out. And I'm left with 6 is greater than or equal to 1. Is that true? Is 6 greater than or equal to 1? And the answer is yes. If the answer is yes, so if you're left with a true statement, then you know you have an infinite number of solutions for this inequality. Okay? All right. Hopefully you guys can solve 8, 9, and 11. If you do need help or you have any questions, then you need to come in and see me for tutoring. Y'all have a great night.